The last one in the cage. The slave market was loud and full of shouting. Buyers yelled numbers. Sellers barked names and prices. The hot air smelled like sweat, dust, and fear. One by one, the alien slaves were sold. Strong workers, pretty dancers, skilled fighters. People clapped, laughed, and dragged the sold ones away like animals. But in the last cage sat only one girl. She was small. Her skin was grayish-blue and covered in dirt. One eye was blind and clouded white. Her clothes were torn and didn't fit. A heavy metal collar hung around her neck. She didn't speak. She didn't cry. She just looked down at the floor. No one wants that one. A green-skinned trader laughed. She's broken, weak. Maybe 10 credits for scrap. 10, someone laughed back. Pay me 10 to take her. More laughter followed. The girl didn't react. Marcus, a human trader, stood near the edge of the market. He wore a long brown coat, dusty boots, and a calm face. He had been watching for hours. He didn't buy anyone. But now, he walked slowly toward the last cage. The seller grinned. "You want that one, human?" Marcus stopped. "How much?" The crowd turned quiet. They watched, waiting for a joke. The seller laughed again. "She's worthless, can't talk, can't work, left leg drags when she walks, take her for free." Marcus looked into the girl's one good eye. It was dull, but alive. Somewhere deep inside, something was still burning. "I'll give you 100 credits, Marcus said. The seller blinked. What? 100, Marcus repeated. The whole market laughed louder than before. Is the human crazy? He pays full price for garbage? What a fool. The seller didn't argue. "She's yours," he said quickly, tossing Marcus the key before he could change his mind. Marcus opened the cage. The girl flinched. She didn't move. She had learned. Movement brought pain. But Marcus didn't hit her. He knelt and offered his hand. She stared at it. Slowly. Very slowly. She placed her shaking hand in his. He helped her up gently. Her knees were weak and her limp made her stumble. Marcus supported her without a word. The crowd kept laughing, but Marcus didn't care. He walked out of the market with the girl leaning on him. In his ship, the girl sat on a soft chair. Her hands trembled as she held a bowl of warm soup. She didn't eat. Marcus sat across from her, quiet. "Eat," he said softly. "You're safe now." She looked at him like he was speaking another language. He smiled a little. "No cage. No chains, you're free here." The girl opened her mouth, her voice was dry and cracked. "Why?" "Me. You were the only one left," Marcus answered, "and I don't like leaving anyone behind." Her eyes filled with tears, but she wiped them away quickly, afraid of punishment. Marcus didn't yell. He didn't hit her. He just asked, "What's your name?" She shook her head slowly. "Don't have one." He nodded. "All right, then we'll choose one together. For now, how about Rin?" She didn't speak, but she looked at him with wide eyes. No one had ever offered her a name before. "I'm Marcus," he said. "And this is your seat now, Rin." She looked at the soup again. This time, she took a small sip. Warmth filled her empty stomach. For the first time in years, something else filled her chest too. Hope. That night, as Marcus checked the ship's course, Rin sat on the floor beside the control panel. She didn't sleep. She was afraid it was all a dream. Her fingers touched the ship's cold metal floor. No chains, no collar shocks, just quiet. And stars outside the window. Marcus returned with a blanket. "Here," he said, placing it around her shoulders. She looked up at him, confused. "You paid for me?" He nodded. "Why?" Marcus looked at her gently. "Because no one should be thrown away." Tears rolled down her cheeks. She didn't hide them this time. She whispered, "I don't know how to be." Anything? He smiled. You'll learn. I'll help. And as the ship flew through the stars, Rin sat there, still scared, still unsure, but no longer alone. She refused to eat. The ship floated quietly through space. Inside, everything was calm, except for the girl named Rin. She sat on the same soft chair, still holding the bowl of soup Marcus had given her. It had gone cold. She hadn't eaten a single bite. Marcus walked into the room and saw her sitting still like a frozen statue. Her one good eye stared down. Her hands trembled. You haven't eaten, Marcus said gently. She didn't answer. He stepped closer and sat beside her. I made it fresh, he added. I don't know what your kind likes, but I can try something else. Why? She whispered. He turned to her. Why do you care? Marcus looked at her closely. Because you're a person. She shook her head fast. No, I'm nothing. I was trash. Left behind. You were left behind, Marcus said softly. But not anymore. Rin's hands tightened around the bowl. Her breath became shaky. I'm not allowed to eat unless I work, she said, almost like a robot. I didn't work. You don't have to work to be fed. That's a trick, she whispered, staring at him like he was a monster. Marcus stood up quietly and didn't force her. The food will be here when you're ready. Then he left the room. Later that day, Rin wandered slowly through the ship. She moved like a ghost, careful, silent, expecting pain at every corner. When she passed by the engine room, something caught her eye. A panel was open. Wires were scattered. She tilted her head. Her feet moved before her mind did. She crouched, ignoring the slight pain in her bad leg, and gently reached into the wiring. In 10 minutes. The hum of the engine changed. It became smoother, cleaner. Marcus in the cockpit noticed. He turned on the screen and saw her through a camera. She had fixed something. When Rin stood and turned around, Marcus was already there. She gasped and stepped back quickly, pressing herself to the wall. I didn't steal, she said fast. I know, Marcus said. She looked down. He pointed at the wires. That was smart. I've been meaning to fix that. I just noticed it was wrong, she whispered. I used to clean ships. They taught us to see broken things. You did more than see. You fixed. She didn't smile, but her head tilted in confusion. You have skill, Rin. Real skill. No one said that before. I'm saying it now. He walked away, leaving her to think. That night, Rin sat in front of the food again. The soup was warm this time. Marcus had reheated it. She looked at the bowl and slowly took one bite, then another and another. She finished the whole bowl. Marcus was fixing something on the control panel when he heard soft footsteps. He turned around. Rin stood there holding the empty bowl. I ate, she said, like a confession. That's good, he said. I don't know what to do now. You can rest. She looked at the floor. Or you can sit here with me. She sat beside him, quiet. After a while, she asked, You don't want anything from me? No. Not work? Not my body? No, Marcus said firmly. She looked at him confused again. What do humans want? She asked honestly. Marcus thought for a moment. Some want power. Some want peace. Some just want a family. She tilted her head. Family? A group of people who protect each other. Who care? I don't have a group. You do now. She looked at him for a long time. Her lips didn't smile, but her eyes held something different. Now a small light, a beginning. Later, when Marcus went to bed, he left the door to her room open, just a little. Rin didn't close it. She stayed awake most of the night, but she wasn't scared. Not tonight. She curled under the soft blanket, thinking about the word Marcus had used, family. And for the first time she whispered to herself, maybe she can fix things. The next morning, Marcus found Rin sitting in the engine room, not hiding, not afraid, just sitting, watching. She had a small tool in her hand and a few wires laid out before her. Her fingers moved with quiet skill, careful, steady, almost like a machine, but softer. He didn't say anything. He just watched. She didn't notice him at first, but then she spoke. "This wire was burning out," she said. "I replaced it with a cooler one. The energy flow will stay balanced now." Marcus raised an eyebrow. "How do you know that?" She looked down, like she had done something wrong. "I don't know. I just feel it. I always could." "You were trained?" She shook her head. "They didn't let me touch machines, but sometimes I snuck in, watched others, and I listened. Machines don't lie. They don't scream. They don't hit." Marcus walked over and crouched next to her. He gently lifted the tool from her hand and looked it over. "This is advanced work," he said. "Most traders would pay well for someone like you." "But they didn't," she said flatly. "I was the one left in the cage." Marcus didn't answer, but his face said everything. That evening, Rin followed him to the control room, not because she had to, because she wanted to. She sat quietly while Marcus adjusted the ship's navigation. The stars outside the window sparkled like cold fire. After a few minutes, she asked, "Where are we going?" "Nowhere special," he said. "I take jobs across systems, haul things, deliver, stay alive." Rin nodded, then whispered, "Can I help?" Marcus looked at her. "Do you want to?" "I don't want to be useless." "You're not. But I still want to help." He smiled. "Then welcome to the crew." She blinked. "I'm crew?" "Officially." She held onto that word, like it was a treasure. Later, Marcus showed her how to operate the scanners. Her eyes studied everything carefully. She had never touched a screen before, but she learned fast. Too fast. "Wait," Marcus said, watching her fingers fly over the panel. "How did you know to do that?" She paused. "I don't know. It's like my hands remember." Marcus leaned forward. "Rin, do you remember anything from before slavery?" She froze. "I see flashes," she whispered. "Metal, a cold room, voices I didn't understand." He didn't push further, but the thought stayed in his mind. This girl was not what she seemed. That night, Rin had a strange dream. She saw herself, but younger. No scars, no limp. She stood in front of a glowing machine. Blue light wrapped around her fingers as she touched it. The machine opened. It hummed, like it knew her. Then fire, screams. She ran. Chains. Darkness. She woke up gasping. Marcus found her in the hallway, clutching her chest, shaking. He knelt beside her. "It's okay. You're safe." "I saw something. I don't remember, but it felt real." He gave her water. "Sometimes memories hide until they're ready." She took the cup and looked at him. "Do you think I was someone important?" Marcus gave a small smile. "I think you are someone important." Rin looked away. "No one ever said that before." "Then I'll be the first." The next day, the ship's comm system glitched. Marcus groaned and opened a panel. "This thing always dies on me." Rin leaned over. "May I try?" He moved aside. In less than a minute, the static cleared. The screen flickered back to life. Marcus stared. "Rin, that system's locked behind encryption. Even I can't. I just touched it," she said, confused. It opened. He stepped back and studied her. "Rin, what are you?" She looked at her hands. "I don't know." But deep inside, something was waking up. That night, Marcus added something new to the door of her room, a small nameplate. It read, "Rin, Engineer." She saw it. She didn't say anything, But for the first time, she smiled, a real smile, and the ship flew through the stars with a girl who once sat forgotten in a cage, now holding tools, fixing circuits, and slowly fixing herself. The inspectors arrive. For 5 days, peace lived on the ship. Rin cleaned the engines, repaired a power cell, and even laughed once. A small laugh, quiet, but real. Marcus didn't say much, but every time he passed her, he gave her a small nod, his way of saying, "I see you." Then, peace ended. It started with a blinking red light on the front console. Marcus tapped the screen. "Incoming signal, Galactic Patrol." Rin froze. "Routine check," Marcus said casually. "Nothing to worry about." But Rin was already moving backward, her face pale. "No, not them. Please. They're not slavers," Marcus said. "They're law." Rin's voice shook. "They were the ones who marked me." Marcus turned slowly. "What do you mean, marked?" Before she could answer, the patrol ship docked. 2 inspectors entered the cargo bay. Their uniforms were perfect. Faces cold, eyes sharp like machines. Marcus met them calmly. "Just a trader passing through," he said. "Ship scan," one said flatly. They walked through the ship without emotion. Then one of them stopped. He saw Rin. She had tried to hide behind a crate, but too late. "That one," the inspector said, pulled a small scanner from his belt and pointed it at her neck. It beeped, then flashed red. Marcus stepped forward. "She's my crew." The inspector ignored him. "This unit was listed for destruction." Rin shook like a leaf. Her voice was barely a breath. "Please don't take me." "She's not a unit," Marcus snapped. "She's a girl, and she's done nothing wrong. She is registered property. Illegal to own, illegal to move." "I didn't buy property," Marcus growled. "I saved a person." The second inspector spoke now. "She carries restricted DNA, hybrid tech class blood. She is classified." Marcus's face tightened. Rin looked up at him. "They'll take me apart," she whispered. "I've seen it happen. They said I wasn't a person." The inspectors reached for her. Marcus stepped in front of her. "No." They paused. "This is obstruction of justice," one warned. "Call it what you want," Marcus said coldly. "But you're not taking her." The inspectors stared at him. One placed a hand on his weapon, but the other raised a hand to stop him. "This ship will be flagged," the lead inspector said. "And so will you. If she causes harm, her blood will be on your hands." Then they turned and walked out. As soon as the doors closed, Rin collapsed to the floor. Marcus caught her. "They were going to take me, but they didn't. They will come again," she whispered. "I don't understand why I'm dangerous. I never hurt anyone." "I believe you," Marcus said. "But why me? What's inside me that scares them?" Marcus looked at the scanner still flashing red. "I think it's time we find out." That night, Marcus ran a deeper scan. Rin sat silently beside him. Her eyes stared at the screen, but she didn't understand the numbers. He did. "Rin," he said softly, "your blood is laced with old tech, not normal tech. It's alive, self-repairing, adaptive. What does that mean?" "It means someone made you." Rin's breath caught. "I'm not born?" "You are real," Marcus said quickly. "But someone changed you, long ago. Before you were taken. You were part of something. Maybe a test. Maybe something bigger. Was I built to destroy?" "No," Marcus said. "I think you were built to survive." Rin wrapped her arms around herself. "Why do I feel like a monster?" "You're not. Then why is everyone afraid of me?" Marcus didn't answer, because deep down even he didn't know the full truth yet. Hours later, Rin stood at the window and looked out at the stars. "Do you think?" she asked. I was always meant to be alone? Marcus stood beside her. No, he said. You just hadn't met the right crew yet. She turned to him, and for the first time, she reached out and touched his hand. It was small, simple, but to her, it was a promise. She would not run again. Not now. Not from herself. The truth in her blood. Rin stared at her own reflection in the engine's metal panel. Her skin looked the same, her scars hadn't faded, but everything had changed. You were made, Marcus had said. Your blood holds something powerful. She pressed her hand over her chest. Was she even real? Marcus sat in the control room, reading old files. He had hacked into deep space archives. He wasn't supposed to, but he had to know. And there it was, Project Echo-born. Secret research, banned after the war. Children taken, fused with living tech, made to adapt, repair, and learn faster than any normal life form. Some called them machines with hearts. But most didn't survive, and the ones who did were feared. One file had a picture, blurred and broken, but he recognized her face. Subject R9. Codename Rin. Marcus leaned back in his chair. They didn't just mark her worthless, he whispered. They were hiding her. Meanwhile, Rin sat alone in the sleeping bay. She stared at her hands. She could feel it now. Something moving inside her. Not pain. Not fear. Energy. Something that responded when she touched machines, when she felt them. It was like metal listened to her. She picked up a damaged circuit chip. The moment her fingers touched it, the chip sparked and reconnected itself. Her eyes widened. I didn't do that, she whispered, but she had. Marcus walked in holding a datapad. Rin, he said quietly, I found something. You deserve to know. She looked up at him scared. Am I dangerous? He shook his head. You were designed to survive. To repair, not destroy. But they want me dead. Because you're a secret they couldn't erase. She stood slowly. Then why did they leave me in a cage? Why not just kill me? Because maybe they couldn't. She looked down. Then what do I do now? Marcus stepped closer. You live. Later that day, an alarm beeped on the ship. Marcus checked the radar. A strange ship was nearby. No signal, no name, no ID. Rin walked into the room. He didn't hide the screen. They're here for me, aren't they? She asked. Maybe. Rin clenched her fists. I'm tired of running. Marcus looked at her. So we don't run, he said. The enemy ship sent a message. Turn. Over subject R9, or we fire. Rin stood beside Marcus as the screen blinked red. Tell them, she said, voice steady. I'm not property. I choose who I stand with. Marcus sent back. She's not going anywhere. Fire, and you'll find out why they feared her. The enemy paused. Then they fired. The shot hit the outer hull. Lights flickered. Panels sparked. Marcus swore and tried to stabilize the ship. But Rin ran to the engine room. She placed her hands on the wall, and suddenly, the ship responded. Wires moved. Power surged. The ship healed itself. Marcus stared on the screen as systems came online faster than ever before. Rin, you're linked with the ship. I am the ship now, she said, her voice calm. Let them come. She walked to the control panel and touched it. The weapon system activated. Systems Marcus didn't even know existed. She blinked. Her one good eye glowed faint blue. Targeting engines, she whispered. The enemy ship tried to dodge, but it was too late. A single pulse shot out. Clean, perfect, silent. Boom. The enemy ship was disabled. Not destroyed. Rin's hand dropped. They're still alive, she said. I didn't want to kill. Marcus looked at her, stunned. Rin, what are you becoming? She turned to him. Maybe something new. That night, the ship flew, quietly again. Marcus sat by the window drinking warm tea. Rin stood beside him. "I'm not afraid of what's inside me anymore," she said. "You shouldn't be, but I still don't know what I am." Marcus smiled. "Then let's find out together." She nodded, and for the first time in her life, she didn't feel broken. She felt whole. Not because she was built to be perfect, but because someone saw her when no one else did. They came to take her. Rin stood near the window, her hand resting on the cold glass. The stars outside looked peaceful, but peace was always a lie in her life. Inside her chest, something strange had grown. It wasn't fear. It was something stronger. Belonging. Marcus had changed the ship's route. No more trading, no more stops. They flew toward a quiet moon where no one searched, where no eyes watched. "I just want you safe," he had told her. But Rin knew the truth. She would never be safe, not while her blood still scared the galaxy. Late, that night while Rin slept, Marcus received a message, encrypted, hidden in old trader code. He opened it. "They know. They're coming. You're not alone in that ship." Marcus's face went cold. He locked the message, sat back, closed his eyes. He had protected her, but now someone had talked. Someone had betrayed them. In the morning, Rin woke up feeling something wrong. The ship was too quiet. Marcus wasn't at the controls. She walked slowly through the halls, then stopped. Voices, unknown. She peeked into the cargo bay. 2 figures, black armor, quiet movements, weapons ready, infiltrators. She backed away, straight into another figure. Rough hands grabbed her. Marcus kicked the side door open and knocked one soldier off balance. "Rin, run!" he shouted. But she didn't run. She screamed, and the lights above exploded. Panels shook. The ship groaned like it was alive. She reached out her hands, and the floor cracked under the attacker's feet. The ship responded to her fear. Marcus pulled her back. "Easy, easy." She blinked. The glow in her eye faded. The attackers were out, cold. But the fear wasn't over. Rin stared at the unconscious soldiers. "Someone told them," she said. Marcus didn't deny it. "I used to work with a man named Vec. He sends messages when he smells trouble." "Someone you trusted?" Marcus's jaw tightened. "Yes, I sent one message a week ago, asking for help. I didn't say your name like Daikyo, but they still found me." Rin looked down. "I don't belong anywhere," she whispered. "Even staying quiet brings danger." Marcus placed a hand on her shoulder. "That's not true. You belong here. But we can't stay still anymore." They jumped systems, no stops, no signals, no open channels. For days, Rin barely slept. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw cages, scalpels, screaming, hers and others. And every time Marcus walked by, she asked, "Are you sure it's safe now?" He always said the same thing. "No, but we're together. That's what matters." One night, the ship suddenly slowed. Marcus ran to the control panel. The engines were fine. The ship had slowed itself. Rin walked in, her face pale. "I didn't mean to," she said. "I was dreaming." "You linked in your sleep?" I think the ship feels what I feel." She looked scared of herself. But Marcus didn't flinch. "Then we teach you to control it." That day, Rin stood in the engine room and touched the wall. She whispered to it like a friend. And the ship answered, not with words, but with warmth, power, obedience. Marcus watched from the doorway. "She's not just connected to the ship," he muttered. "She is the ship." And in that moment he understood something. She wasn't built to be a weapon. She was built to be a home, a living core, a life bound to metal. But they tried to erase her, because they didn't understand her. Later that week, Marcus fixed a cracked panel near the control seat. Rin watched him. "Why didn't you give me away?" she asked quietly. "I saw your eyes," he said. No one with eyes like that should be left in a cage. She looked down. I almost gave up that day. Marcus leaned in closer. Then I'm glad I was late. She smiled, a full, real smile. But outside, something dark moved closer. A new ship, bigger, colder. And this time, they weren't coming to take her alive. The worthless who saved a world. The enemy ship hovered above them like a dark moon. No warning this time. No messages. Just silence. Before the storm. Marcus stared at the screen. That's not a bounty ship, he said. That's military. Rin stood beside him, her hand resting on the ship's metal wall. She felt it. A deep, heavy vibration, like a storm calling her name. They don't want to capture me, she said softly. They came to erase me. Forever. Marcus grabbed his toolkit. Then we don't let them. But Rin didn't move. I know what I have to do, she whispered. Down in the core room, the ship's living systems hummed. Rin placed her hand on the control crystal. The room lit up blue, pulsing with her heartbeat. I'm done running, she said. Let them see what I really am. The ship responded, not with words, but with power. Panels opened, weapons activated, engines burned hot without fuel. Marcus ran in. Rin, what are you doing? I'm merging, she said. No more half-living, no more hiding. Rin, I know. But if you do this, you might not come back. She turned to him. I already came back. The day you gave me a name. Outside, the enemy ship charged weapons. Rin's ship moved before Marcus even touched the controls, like it was alive. No, like she was alive inside it. The first beam fired. Rin absorbed it. Not the ship. Rin. Her fingers glowed white-hot. Her breath came in short waves. Give me their systems, she said. Wires shifted. Lights blinked. The enemy ship's systems glitched. Then, blackout. Inside the enemy vessel, chaos erupted. No response from weapons. Shield's gone. Something's inside our data stream, but it wasn't a virus, it was her. Back on the control deck, Marcus watched in shock. Rin, you're overriding a warship. Her voice came through the ship's speakers, soft and steady. They built me to serve, she said. But they didn't expect me to lead. With a single pulse of energy, she sent a wave through the galaxy's encrypted channels, files unlocked, hidden data leaked. Project Echo born, exposed. The galaxy saw the truth, not just about Rin, but about all the others like her, the lost, the silenced, the abandoned. The enemy ship pulled back, limping, powerless. They couldn't fight what they didn't understand. They had come to erase a ghost, instead they woke a storm. Marcus ran to the engine room. The light was fading. Rin lay still, her hands still glowing, eyes half open. Hey, he said, kneeling beside her. Rin, talk to me. I'm here, she whispered. Just tired. You saved them all. I didn't mean to hurt anyone. You didn't, he said. You freed them. Her lips moved slowly. Did they see me? Yes, Marcus said. The whole galaxy did. Tears filled her one good eye. I was never meant to be seen, but now you are, he said gently. By everyone. 2 weeks later, news spread across planets. The worthless slave, who had been left in a cage, had saved hundreds of ships from destruction, had exposed dark secrets hidden for decades, had become the voice of those who couldn't speak. She had no flag, no army, just one ship, one heart, and one man who chose to believe she was more than what the world said. A small memorial stood outside the ship's core room, not because Rin had died, but because she had changed. Her body rested, but her mind lived in the ship now, merged fully. She didn't just control it, she was it, and every time Marcus touched the wall, the lights pulsed gently in return. She's not gone, he told a reporter one day. She is the ship now, and I don't fly alone anymore. And across the stars in the minds of slaves, broken ones, forgotten children, a name began to spread. Rin. The girl no one wanted. The girl no one saw. The girl who saved a world by becoming her own.